A very warm welcome to IDFC First Bank presents Leaders of Tomorrow Season 12. I'm Ritwika Gupta. Tonight we shine a spotlight on India's dynamic retail and fintech sectors through the inspiring journey of CashKaro. From evolving business verticals to emerging trends in the digital retail space, we'll explore how Indian entrepreneurs can drive the nation's rise to a leading global economy. On the show tonight, I'll be in conversation with Swati Bhargava, co-founder of CashKaro and EarnKaro. Listen in. Swati, welcome to the show. It's always a pleasure having you on Leaders of Tomorrow.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be back here.
So Swati, as I was researching for this interview, I came across an episode of yours that we shot 8 years ago. In that interview, you spoke about how you envisioned CashKaro evolving from a cashback site to a broader savings destination. Fast forward to today, do you feel you have achieved that vision? Is CashKaro now more than just a cashback business?
Yes and yes. We've come a long way since then. So we started off CashKaro as a cashback site, which was inspired by the success of how cashback sites have done in the US and UK. And then we found that in India, people actually like to compare prices, then decide where to buy from. So we included cashback coupons, price comparison, made CashKaro the savings destination, which it is today. But what we also realized over the last few years is that there is a much bigger problem to solve in India, which is that of customer acquisition. So today, e-commerce sites are largely not profitable because of the higher CACs which are there in acquiring customers via Google, via Meta. So we're now amongst the largest customer acquisition channels for all e-commerce, whether that includes horizontals like Amazon, Flipkart, Myntra, or vertical players, D2C players like Mamaearth, Wow, Mcaffeine, travel, beauty, personal care, health, insurance, everything. So essentially what we realized is that e-commerce sites have a need to work on performance marketing because otherwise the CACs become very high. So what we do now is that we work with all e-commerce sites on a commission model. They pay us commission for transactions we drive and we give cash back from that. And in doing so, we have become the largest performance marketing partner for e-commerce sites. We've also become the largest non-referral traffic generator for them because some of our sites like EarnKaro are actually sending 2.8 billion clicks every year to e-commerce sites. So what started off as a cashback platform has become, a performance marketing engine, a referral marketing engine, a low CAC, high ROI cost of customer acquisition channel.
Now, Swati, crossing the 300 crore revenue mark in FY24 is a monumental milestone. What would you say were the key factors driving this growth?
So the nature of our business is that as e-commerce grows in India, CashKaro will grow with it because performance marketing, affiliate marketing are intrinsically related to the growth of e-commerce.
Right.
In addition, what we've seen this year is that D2C sites have actually been a major contributor in the growth of our revenues. Earlier, it was largely beauty and personal care. Now we've also got D2C electronics on board. All partners like Boat, Noise, Apple, Dell, Samsung, OnePlus working directly with the brands, and that has given a huge breadth to the D2C e-commerce offering that we have. Plus, we launched finance this year, which is already contributing to 20% of our net revenues. And that means we can now give cash back when you apply for credit cards via CashKaro on Axis Bank, IDFC, SBI, lots of banks. And finance is a growing category in India. So these have been two major category drivers, plus our product expansions. EarnKaro we launched about 4 or 5 years ago, and that is now like the largest traffic generator for e-commerce. It's also a great way for people to earn extra money on the site. People are earning 10-15 lakhs via EarnKaro every month. So some of this growth that is coming from different products has given us, this increment that we've seen over the last year.
Now, I read that CashKaro has also reportedly paid out 1,000 crores in cashback to users. This is a staggering figure, and this isn't just points or discounts. From what I understand, it's real money going back to customers. How do you think this has impacted user trust, loyalty, and the way they shop with CashKaro?
Yeah, it is real cash. It's 1,000 crores of real cash in the hands of Indian shoppers that we've given over the last few years. And why we actually stuck to the real cash model was because we felt that people were really tired of points, of collecting points, a million points, which give you a pair of headphones. So that collection that you do and the reward that you get is just not proportionate, and it's not worth the effort also in many cases.
Yes.
So we wanted to keep it very transparent. So CashKaro, like you said, if you shop via CashKaro, you get real cash back, which you can transfer into your bank as cash one-to-one, no deductions. You can also take Amazon, Flipkart gift vouchers. So the fact that we made it so transparent, that it's one for one, it's real cash, it actually gave a lot of trust and confidence to people in the rewards and incentive mechanisms which were existing in the country, because there was a point where people were just looking at all sorts of points which were just expiring, and you don't know what to do with millions of them.
Right.
So I think real cash is what India likes, everybody likes, that's what we've seen, and that's why we stuck core to that, which is why customer retention has been good, which is why people actually use CashKaro even in sale season, because they're getting cashback on top of sale discounts, on top of bank card offers as well.
Now, from affiliate marketing with EarnKaro to launching the D2C marketplace BuyKaro and working with major platforms like Amazon and Flipkart for CashKaro, you've got a lot on your plate, Swati. How do you see these verticals evolving in the coming years, and what's your overall bigger vision for your ecosystem?
The vision for CashKaro is to actually solve for marketing as a problem for e-commerce, because that's where we believe most of the work is needed. Supply chain, logistics, product, a lot of these are solved problems in Indian e-commerce today, but marketing is not, and customer acquisition is not, which is why the profitability is not coming. So what we're saying is CashKaro will solve for transactions. So you pay us for every transaction that we drive. There's nothing else that we charge for traffic.
Right.
What EarnKaro is solving for is the traffic, the referrals, the virality that e-commerce needs. So when people make their affiliate links via EarnKaro and share it on their Telegram groups, WhatsApp groups, Facebook, Instagram, all influencers sharing on various portals, this is what generates virality to the sites. And we've got so many examples where EarnKaro sends so much traffic at midnight when sales go live that the sites come down. So I think for us, it is all about saying, how do we solve for marketing, come up with innovative solutions, and look at it category wise and have bespoke marketing solutions as well for different categories. For example, for finance, we're solving for very differently compared to the blogger tie-ups that we do for travel.
Absolutely.
So the broader vision is to focus on marketing, and I think EarnKaro is actually a product that is the first in India. It's probably the first globally in many sense, because many countries have affiliate marketing and Telegram, but they don't have the kind of affiliate marketing app and automation tools that we've built at EarnKaro, and that's something we'll be exporting out.
Swati, fintech is transforming at lightning speed. Where do you see the biggest innovations happening right now?
We saw the biggest opportunity in financial inclusion, which is why we got into finance last year, and we actually have an arm of CashKaro called BankKaro, which we've launched. And BankKaro is now doing tie-ups with different banks, loan providers, insurance providers, saying how do we actually bring your product to the masses, bring it to tier 2, tier 3 sites. And what's enabling this to happen is the digitization of the process. So most of the applications now are entirely digital led. There's video KYC, there is automation levers that we've built in between to enable people to complete their financial applications on time.
Right.
And that is actually leading to higher conversion. So for us, the largest opportunity we see is in financial inclusion, but I think the challenge there is to also look at personalization and making sure that we're giving the right card to the right audience, which is what we try to do when we analyze data on CashKaro, because we know what kind of spends are happening on which sites, so which customers would most likely be eligible for what cards, and therefore finance, field cards, insurance, this is where we are getting into.
Now, you also collaborate with countless retailers across the country. Tell us, what trends are you noticing in the Indian retail space right now? How are retailers perhaps adapting to this, rapidly evolving digital-first environment?
Yeah, well, most of the partners that we work with are actually digital brands, and most of them have a digital first approach, because I think that is the way to go, right? So many stores are now shutting down because the rents just don't pay for themselves. The convenience of online shopping, the reviews that you get, the offers that you get online are just not matched to offline, especially given that the return processes are actually very seamless. So I, for one, even if I have to shop at a Zara, I do it online only, I will not do it in store, because the experience is just so much better and is so much faster, and nobody has time to queue up now. So we are seeing more and more, people coming in the online space. We are seeing them actually spend a lot more on affiliate marketing, on performance marketing. Over the last 1 year, we've got countless examples of e-commerce calling us and saying, hey, we actually want to divert budget from Meta and Google to CashKaro because Meta and Google are not working for anyone.
Yes.
People are using it because you don't know what else to do many times, and because you think you'll miss out if you don't do that, which is true. Like they are very large search engines, so it makes sense, but it's just that it's very expensive, and that's why increasingly marketers are looking for other alternatives to supplement and complement those marketing initiatives, and very often replace those channels as well to a certain extent, because the ROIs are just not there. So we're seeing people adapt more to that. We're seeing them actually come into the field of content creation a lot more, brand building, how to get conversations about brands happening, how to get user-generated content out, more of the Vox Pop series. So we get approached by brands a lot more for organic activity also that we, or activity that looks organic that we can do for them, because nobody has space anymore to absorb ads per se. So the more natural and the more organic, integrated into daily life you make it, that's how your content actually gets absorbed now.
It's time for a quick break here. We'll be back shortly. Stay tuned. Swati, I heard you also launched a brand new podcast. Can you tell us more about it?
Yes, we actually launched a podcast a few weeks ago, and we launched it by actually first changing our LinkedIn bios to bad co-founders. And we got a lot of people asking us, what does that mean? What are you doing? And well, we said that bad has a new meaning now. It's called Be a Dreamer. So the idea of the podcast is to showcase people who are actually now earning 10 to 20 lakhs a month via affiliate marketing. And that's just so unbelievable, no? Like all of us in our corporate jobs and corporate salaries earn way lesser. And here are people who are actually making their EarnKaro affiliate links, sharing in their Telegram groups, and getting so many sales that they're earning lakhs every month. There are even a couple of people earning crores every month. So we thought that these stories are so inspirational that people have the power to change their financial, destiny in some sense, and how they've done it. And that's what I really wanted to share with people. And so Rohan and I together thought that, this should be the area that we focus on. This should be the topic of our podcast. And we picked Be a Dreamer so that encourages people to dream, because here's how dreams are actually coming true.
Welcome back. You're watching IDFC First Bank Presents Leaders of Tomorrow Season 12 in conversation with Swati Bhargava, co-founder of CashKaro and EarnKaro, who in this segment talks to us about her perspective on India's current entrepreneurial landscape. Zooming out a little bit, Swati, and just talking about the bigger picture, what's your perspective on India's entrepreneurial landscape? With startups and MSMEs playing such a vital role in the economy, how do you see them contributing to India's journey towards becoming a top global economy?
Yeah, I think this is very essential, and it's a very positive trend. If I look at my own story, I grew up in Ambala, I studied in Singapore, London School of Economics, I worked at Goldman Sachs in London for 5 years. We started our business in the UK, but then Rohan, my husband, both of us actually decided to move back to India and start our business here. And we haven't regretted that decision even one bit. We've been back here for about 8 years now. And I think, the entrepreneurial scene in India right now is just so vibrant. It's full of, there's a lot of hustle, there's a lot of, push that everyone wants to do. And I think it's the right time to actually get into becoming an entrepreneur in India if you have that desire and aspiration and some ideas.
Right.
Because there are lots of very big problems to be solved. So the right people coming in here, taking them up is what India needs. And MSME has a very positive trend. 23% jobs are actually coming from the MSME sector, and it's only going to grow more. In fact, we see a lot of people ditching jobs with large corporates to join MSMEs because they also get that entrepreneurial experience. They get a chance to, fold up their sleeves and really get into the thick of thin, take decisions, move up the ladder faster. So I think it's a very exciting sector.
The theme for our show this season is powering entrepreneurs for the global stage. Interestingly, your journey started on the global stage itself, with Pouring Pounds in the UK. Are there any global aspirations? Perhaps, could Pouring Pounds make a comeback?
I just think that while opportunities are there everywhere, India itself is such a big opportunity that the opportunity cost of not being in India and doing more is higher than actually expanding global footprint. It might sound sexy to say we are in so many countries, but it's about where more value can be created for, for the business, for the consumers, for all the stakeholders, and I believe India is that place today.
Yes.
So we're not planning to actually expand, too much beyond, the Asian countries, and right now actually largely focused on India, going deeper into the market versus going broader. And no, I don't find UK exciting. I think India has a lot more to offer. So I'd pick CashKaro over, so I'd pick CashKaro to spend time on versus Pouring Pounds today.
Well, that's a very interesting perspective. Swati, I heard you also launched a brand new podcast. Can you tell us more about it?
Yes, we actually launched a podcast a few weeks ago, and we launched it by actually first changing our LinkedIn bios to bad co-founders. And we got a lot of people asking us, what does that mean? What are you doing? And well, we said that bad has a new meaning now. It's called Be a Dreamer. So the idea of the podcast is to showcase people who are actually now earning 10 to 20 lakhs a month via affiliate marketing. And that's just so unbelievable, no? Like all of us in our corporate jobs and corporate salaries earn way lesser. And here are people who are actually making their EarnKaro affiliate links, sharing in their Telegram groups, and getting so many sales that they're earning lakhs every month. There are even a couple of people earning crores every month. So we thought that these stories are so inspirational that people have the power to change their financial, destiny in some sense, and how they've done it. And that's what I really wanted to share with people. And so Rohan and I together thought that, this should be the area that we focus on. This should be the topic of our podcast. And we picked Be a Dreamer so that encourages people to dream, because here's how dreams are actually coming true.
Well, fantastic, and all the very best for your podcast. Finally, Swati, being backed by the late Mr. Ratan Tata and leading investors like Kalari Capital and Korea Investment Partners, it's a big endorsement. What advice would you give to entrepreneurs, who are looking to scale their businesses, especially in terms of securing funding and building something sustainable for the long term?
Well, I think firstly what's helped us, build this category in India, succeed in our business, raise money, is customer obsession versus competitor obsession. So we've never really worried about what else are people doing in the market. Of course, one has to be aware, be nimble enough to, create and innovate. But we've focused on actually listening to the customer a lot. What are their pain points? Where do they actually want, savings? Which category, which retailer, what product, which cashback is not tracking? What's the experience like? How can we make it better? So I think hearing our customers is the very obvious thing to do, but very often we don't do it. So I would say that, definitely keep focused on that. Secondly, in all my investor interaction, I've seen that investors focus on 5 major things: the market size, the traction you have so far, the precedence of success abroad for your business model, the unit metrics of your business, can it really get to profitability, and the team that you've built. So for me, these 5 things are, really important to focus on, because the minute you have good answers to each of them, you will get funded. There is a lot of money available in the market. While there might be, there's always talk of a funding winter, and there's always talk of like things will get better versus where they are now. But I think cash is available in the market for businesses that are doing well, where investors can see that they will be able to make good returns. So you have no reason to worry per se. And even if you're a woman entrepreneur, you should never think that you will not be able to raise money. Your male counterparts will be able to, because between Rohan and I am actually in charge of funding, of fundraise, of investor relations. We could have picked the male counterpart to do that as well, but we didn't, because I believe that if the business fundamentals are strong, it will overcome any kind of bias or stereotyping that might exist. So I would say that, focus on the business, create a good product that people really want, and the funding will follow.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Swati. It's a pleasure having you on Leaders of Tomorrow, as always.
Thank you so much. Great to be back, and see you soon.
And with that, it's a wrap on this edition of IDFC First Bank Presents Leaders of Tomorrow Season 12. We hope you enjoyed the conversation. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.